Snyder Family Stadium. It is senior day, final regular season game for both Colorado and Kansas State. A win for Kansas State, and they will be in a position to get a bowl berth. Weather's going to be a massive story today. Light snow for our kick. Temperatures hovering around freezing, 34 degrees. That wind is going to be whipping. It says 12 mile an hour now, but it's going to be whipping more than that at times. Chris Kleiman has done a fantastic job. 7 years as the head coach at Kansas State after winning multiple national championships at the FCS level. He'll be matching wits with Deion Sanders, now in year number 3, battling a losing season for 2 of the 3 campaigns in Boulder.
He's got a lot of building he's got to do. Offensive line, receiver. He lost the Heisman Trophy winner. So much depth and talent there. This is a transitional time for him. He knows it to be sure. He's already down that path. Obviously, Juju's in a situation where he's got the red shirt on him. And so he's looking forward as Deion Sanders to next season already.
Colorado won the toss, so 1 victory so far today for Deion Sanders. They decided to defer the decision to the second half, so Kansas State will receive the opening kickoff. Buck Buchanan will kick it off.
That's a good football name.
It doesn't look like the Buck Buchanan I'm familiar with, but that'll work. On the run out. Out across the 25, this is Lockett. Sterling Lockett gets the ball out, and it will be Kansas State on offense. Avery Johnson, Mr. Do-It-All. This is now 26 consecutive starts.
The things I like about him is his legs. He's the perfect complement to what they want to do right now. This is about continuity you're going to see with this quarterback. He is something special. Needs to get that completion percentage partner up around 63, 65% maybe, but this number right here, that package will work.
Reigning Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week, Joe Jackson in the backfield behind him. Jackson, 293 yards a week ago. He's going to have to improve on that. Didn't get anything on his first carry. Let's take a look at the big boys up front. We highlight Taylor Poitier. This is his 7th season all at Kansas State. He has been on the team all 7 years that Chris Kleiman has been the head coach. Jackson, Bradley, Lockett, and Tibbs. Will Swanson starts at tight end. Garrett Oakley was a game-time decision. He is not on the field.
He's got a huge offensive line. You got to get more than a couple of yards on this one.
Right up the gut again with Jackson. This time picks up a pair. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long.
Well, again, this is 3rd down and long scenarios. You want to stay out of those predictable scenarios. And again, probably of the 2 teams, both of them are acclimated to the wintry conditions that we're experiencing right now. But the bottom line is you don't want to have to throw the ball in obvious situations. It's easier to defend.
This seems like an obvious pass situation.
They're defended for the run, though, with a single high safety here, so they're expecting run. Wow.
It is a pass. 4-man rush. Johnson spits it out. Easy pitch and catch. That's a 1st down. Jerron Tibbs moves the chains.
Well, what they're playing is man coverage over the top of that because they had a lot of numbers, but you can see squat dog read. All that means is you're squatting on the guy, and the little pick, the natural pick pulls you off of that. That's the trouble with playing man coverage in these situations. You're tied into that receiver if you're a defender, and there's no way to get off of him if those 2 guys collide.
Spencer, this is our 13th week together. It's the first time I heard you say squat dog. I like it.
Dog read.
Carry, and again, tough sledding for Jackson. Tawfiq Byard was a game-time decision whether or not he'd be able to play. Clearly he's playing. Blows up that play in the backfield.
I'll tell you, Robert Livingston, the defensive coordinator, is doing a wonderful job. Watch him. He's bringing guys and bodies around the boxes and then giving them latitude. Now, what you got to be careful from is getting displaced, right? You don't get displaced on that particular play, but those smaller guys can get knocked out of there like Byard did on that one, and then if you get too far knocked out of those lanes, you start to lose integrity, and those gaps start to be created.
Byard came into this game with 84 tackles. Big motivation for him today is to get to 100. That would be a huge defensive day if he could get 16 tackles. Johnson with fantastic speed gets to the edge and makes a bad play a good play.
Yeah, London Merritt, I thought had him dead to rights there on the outside of the jack position for Colorado, but he was able to elude him. And that's why I said at the top of the show, this guy's the perfect complement for what they do. He's a legitimate dual threat quarterback. I love his legs, man. He gets after it.
It is Byard who is slow to get up. He was actually in the backfield of Kansas State and was slow to get to his feet and is now walking off towards the sideline. That's why we have an official timeout.
How about the locks, too? The quarterback, man. It's got him flowing.
It's going to keep him warm. It's like a scarf he's got. He knows all about this weather. He's from Wichita, Kansas, went to Mays High School. Same high school that produced the Olympian softball great Kelsey Stewart. Mays High School, Wichita.
Got to hold your water up there.
I'll start. Offense, number 69, 5-yard penalty.
Got your boy Taylor Portiero. Got him.
7 years, you would have thought he knew better.
Hey, you got your most experienced guy there at the left guard position, right? Watch him. Can't hold his water. He's trying to tag block that, so you're concerned about a guy. Now, the thing about it, when you're covered like that, that's why you're anxious, right? You know if you void that spot, somebody's going to fill it. He's just making sure he doesn't get beat.
First and 15. Still nothing at all. Joe Jackson finding life difficult as a marked man. He's not sneaking up on people anymore.
Well, they're playing with intention on defense, as we talked about. Robert Livingston's got that long pedigree from the NFL. I think he had like 13 years with the Bengals. The guy understands how the bottom line is they've got to be more effective with doing that consistently. That's been an issue for them.
Second down at 14. K-State likes to play with a whole bunch of tight ends. They have 2 in the game right now.
They backed off those numbers off the line of scrimmage. They're going to play zone in the back.
Dump down. First catch by a tight end in our ball game. Catch is made by Will Ancio. Gain of 9.
Ancio does a wonderful job of finding that zone, right? And then splitting those 2 defenders who are bracketing him on either side. And what you're trying to do is not beat any individual player. You're just trying to split the difference between the 2 defenders. Will did a wonderful job there.
So it goes from 2nd and 14 to 3rd and 5. K-State makes some changes. Colorado answers with changes of their own. 8th play of the drive. Jackson, first time outside the tackles, and it's a thing of beauty. Jackson has the first down and a bunch more. So they kept trying up the middle. That didn't work. They put him out of the edge, and all of a sudden, open country.
And they've got power look here, working with the tight end underneath the lead blocker, and you got your off guard pulling as well. When the first guy misses, this guy right here is not small, right? You know, Kansas State usually gives you those Deuce Vaughn, or Darren Sproul type guys, 5'9" sub.
Yeah.
Those kind of. This guy right here is about 6 foot, 220 pounds. He can get after you, man.
27 yards on that carry. A little stepping out for Joe Jackson. Tight end Will Swanson in motion. Low snap, and again, Jackson.
Here's number 4, Joe Jackson.
See, Eric, these are the kind of drives that kind of suck the life out of you when you have a team that picks up where they left off the previous week, and they start that narrative again, and that identity sets in. And you can't look. You've been watching Utah film all week long. You know what they did against them, and when they can control the line of scrimmage like this and run the ball this effectively, you got to be concerned.
What do you think about the choice of pants for Joe Jackson? He's got the pants up above the knee.
Yeah, he's got him high, man. That's got to be some kind of violation there.
There's no knee pad at all. Johnson, back to the end zone. Too tall for the tight end, Ancio. That would have been a touchdown.
And that's really unfortunate, too, because Avery did a wonderful job, did Avery, just looking off. Watch his eyes stay front side to control that safety right here. Boom, he looks front side, and then he comes back. He settled just a little bit too much juice on that ball right there. Boy, he worked that safety with his eyes extremely well, but just take a little bit off of it, man. It's tough to be thrust into the light like he is, but this is a great opportunity for him.
Kansas State's converted twice on 3rd down on this drive. 3rd down and 7, run. It's now 4th down. And a decision for Chris Kleiman.
Yeah, Braden Laughlin has done a wonderful job. There's a little uniform set up there with your best back, man. Listen, I know those pads don't really protect the joints necessarily, but those surface rooms, it sure just makes you look vulnerable. You know what I mean?
Yes. That's...
And it's cold besides that.
It's got to cut off the circulation. for the Spencer. Fourth down. I don't know if weather's the issue for not kicking a field goal, but they're going to go for 4th and 5.
They got the strong to this side right here. They can get him.
Johnson. Caught. That'll be a first down. First catch for the tight end, Lofton. Little roll of the dice in the first quarter for Chris Kleiman, and it comes up snake eye.
And I think the shift is what got him, right? You see a lot of guys move, but the bottom line is you see no defenders move. So you got guys going on a shallow crossing route underneath, and then by the time the leverage gets there, he's on the boundary with plus yards now. That's an outstanding job of pre-snap movement.
There's a good chance that Kansas State is going to take up half of this first quarter on this opening drive.
Yep. And then you start looking at the points per possession strategy. You lose that battle, you're in trouble.
Jackson forces way in. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Well, Jackson's well on his way. 293 last week against Utah with the power blocker in front of him, tight end, various sundry forms of tight ends that he'll use in this scheme. He's in the end zone once again. Number 4, Smoking Joe from Kokomo.
Stepping out. 13 plays, 74 yards. Using up almost half of that first quarter. Extra point is true by Luis Rodriguez. And on senior day, how about Kansas State representing? They lead Colorado 7-0. Partner of the Big 12.
I like this, Eric, because we did this before the game. It makes us look good, right? Control the line of scrimmage. We just saw what was able to be done by Kansas State. They did that, right? Then staying out of those third and long situations. And then ultimately, Colorado had no answer for it. Both those teams have to find a way to control the line of scrimmage. We'll unpack the second half here just shortly. So, again, at the end of the day, if you can't control that interior line play, you're going to have problems in these conditions. There it is right there. Control the line of scrimmage, create quarterback pressure. So we'll see if they'll be able to do it. But in that first series, Avery was open, didn't need to necessarily pass, but when he did, he found his tight end. He found a couple of receivers that were wide open in zone coverage and one against man as well.
Everything old is new again. Caden Salter has been in and out of the starting lineup as quarterback. He is starting here in the final game of the year for Colorado in relief of Juju Lewis, who is sitting out, not injured, just to protect an extra year of eligibility. If you play more than 4 games, that's considered to be a full year of eligibility. So they cut down Lewis before he played in game number 5. Let's take a look at the linemen up front. Once again, no Jordan Seaton. That's a big deal. The left tackle, one of the best in the country. He's missed the last couple of weeks. Kareem Harden is in the spot. We were going to see a lot of different backs. Dallin Hayden will get the majority of the carries, but we'll also see Draylon Miller and Cam Michael as well.
Yep, 4 and 9 are the guys that look for to get the production at the wide receiver and then the slot receiver position.
Second down and 7, quarterback keeper. Salter lunges forward.
Ice in that wheel position, standing up there. Watch him get juked right here, partner. The little juke went inside of him. Nice little hit. Doesn't take a whole lot in these conditions. It's not really terrible out there. I think they've got pretty solid footing, but you're really conscious. You're playing high like that. You get stood up, man. It's really tough to recover. Got to get down in a good football position and ready to watch that waist and move sideways.
But if you're Newsom, I guess you'd rather be beat inside than outside.
Absolutely.
Third down and 1. Power football, and the Buffaloes get it. Micah Welch moves forward. First carry for Welch, and the chains will move.
Partner, that's just a great point that you just made, just to put a bow on that. You make sure you're not beating outside simply because you got the boundary as a 13th man, if you will, and you got help out there potentially as well. You just don't want to get beat the other direction. That's the key. Know where your help is coming from.
9 minutes have elapsed here in our first quarter. Draylon Miller is the back. And Miller's got it. Getting tackled.
I'll tell you what, they're really aligned that will position to get in there. Asa Newsom did a wonderful job.
Take a look at the defensive lineups. Cody Stubblebean playing in his final game at home for K-State. He is one of the many seniors. Good to have Ryan Davis back. That was a big loss a week ago when Davis got taken out of the game for a first half targeting.
Yeah, not a smart play.
Salter, complete, right to midfield. That'll bring up third down and short. Marion Miller with the grab.
Yep, and Gunnar Maldonado, the free safety, he comes in from depth, right? And he comes in the back half of this. Watch him drive down on this ball. He knows he's got help on the outside there. Fortenberry was the guy that's defending on the edge. And so, again, just these guys are so smart on the back end. They do a wonderful job of coaching all over. Van Malone and all those other guys over there do a great job at the back end.
Third down and 2. Inside run. Hayden didn't get there. Stufflebean with the stuff.
On the tackle, number 47.
Well, Cody, the way he just hit that right defensive tackle position, sheds and comes down. Watch him instinctively know this is coming. He comes across the face, can't get there because it's all muddied up. So he says, hey, I'm going to go on the back of this guy and see if I can make it in there. And he does, man.
Well, a big part of the K-State first drive was when they went for it on fourth down. Now Deion Sanders is going to do the same thing. Hayden next to Salter in the backfield.
And now this is 4th and 2 now. They're not a big rush team, but let's see if they run it.
Keeper. Salter didn't get there. Maldonado rips him down, and a flag is on the field. Did he get a bit of the face mask?
It's going to be a gratuitous and beneficial call if it is that.
I think I saw Salter's head snap a little bit.
Personal foul, face mask,
Got it.
defense, number 32, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Well, the Mike backer, Desmond Perrell, is the one that did it, number 32. You can see him. He's the guy that gets that hand up there in the face, and clearly it's an infraction. Well, here's the thing about it. It's a mixed blessing. You didn't earn the yardage. You got it because of a mistake that the defender made. And so you got to be concerned about that. Would it be 4th and 2nd again? Would you go for it again? You don't have anything that's courage comes from demonstrated ability.
Hayden pushes out to the 30-yard line. Allen Hayden Jr. from Memphis, Tennessee. Gain of 5 yards.
Love to get about 5-6 yards on first down. They can continue to do this. Stay out of those scenarios where it is 4th and short, and everybody knows that they should run, and they don't have a history of doing that well this year.
We've had just 2 drives here in our first quarter. Over 7-minute drive for Kansas State, and now Colorado answering with a long drive of their own. Knocking on the door of the red zone. 2nd down and 6. Salter splits 2 defenders. Little dead leg, and he's got the first down. This guy's shifty.
He really is shifty. And I like it. He's sudden, right? Watch this. He lets everybody climb on top of him. You got a wide 9 technique that thinks you got him dead to right. You don't have him dead to right. He just turns around and makes you miss. That was Jordan Allen, number 91. He just went by him quick as a hiccup, man. And now they're putting together numbers on this drive, partner, in double digits.
10th play of the drive. Fresh set of downs. Weather not cooperating. Hayden down inside the 20 to the 17.
Hey, man, you got to give credit where credit is due. Brent Bartoloni and Pat Shermer kind of doubling up on the coordinator responsibilities, although Brent is the one calling the plays. Doing a wonderful job matching the energy and down and distance control that K-State demonstrated in the opening drive.
9 runs, 1 pass.
How about that? That's impressive, man. 9 runs from a team that averages 123 yards rushing a game. That's pretty strong.
Miller has replaced Hayden in the backfield. Salter drops back, looking for help. None's coming. He goes down. First man to get there, Quay Moss, and it'll be a loss.
Yeah, Quay came from that nickel position, and again, he knew he had help on the inside, playing with leverage, and Quay just does a wonderful job of playing his assignment well and minimizing the damage.
So it's 3rd down at a bunch, 3rd down at 12. We just saw Colorado go for it on 4 downs, but that was 4th and 2.
Yeah.
I'm assuming if they get 10 here and it's 4th and 2 again, well, geez, I don't know.
Yeah, this is where Joe Klanderman, the defensive coordinator, wants to come with pressure. He's only got 4 guys down here, so he's got a 4-cross look.
Salter flips it out, incomplete. getting his hands on the football was Zayshawn Rich, who's disappointed he didn't bring it in.
Yeah, because the guys up front did their job, and the quarterback is going to take a big-time hit here. And on the back end, Zayshawn Rich probably should have had it. You want a guy to pay that off on the backside if you can do that and help your partner out. That was Obazai that did a wonderful job of getting there with pressure.
You always talk about burping guys. I think he burped Salter's mouthpiece out. Someone's mouthpiece came flying into the air. Blocked! A Kansas State blocked field goal. They've been doing that for years. A Bill Snyder special. Oh, that's Kansas State football to a T. With snow flurries coming down, a blocked field goal.
That's what they do, and you nailed it, partner. It's in their history. It's in their DNA. That's what they do with the Wildcats.
Jump around, jump around, jump around.
Defensively in the second drive of the game.
Well, they did a great job at Kansas State executing that. DJ Payne was the guy who was the jumper that attracted everybody in, and Coach Dion has got to figure out a way, as Coach Prime, to deal with this. You drive all the way down there, 10 plays plus, and can't get in the score.
Joe Jackson can't quite get the edge. He is met with force by John Slaughter, who has come on late in the season for Colorado.
They stretched that play out quite nicely there, and just got to be consistent with that. Create these long down and distance scenarios so they'll have a shot to bring some pressure here.
Great news for Colorado fans. Tawfiq Byer, who left the game last drive, is back on the field. Number 7 in white for Colorado.
Got a
He's their leading tackler.
scrimmage, yeah.
First carry of the game, this is Antonio Martin. Martin had a fantastic game that we shouldn't forget about last week in that record-setting performance against Utah.
He sure did. And again, one of the things that they're doing right now to defend that is to play 9 guys around the line of scrimmage. You had a single high safety look, and that last safety was the last one to get in there on that gang tackle. Byard was among those in there on the spot. So they're trying to defend the run is the point, with 9 people around the line of scrimmage.
This is the end of the first quarter.
Well, if you get dinner reservations in about 2.5 hours, you're probably going to make it. We're speeding along in Manhattan, Kansas, second quarter when we come back. Per carry, and it was Joe Jackson doing the bulk of the work. 293 yards that broke the K-State record previously set by the great Darren Sproles.
Wow. They had 348 in the first half. It was unbelievable. Then he had that 66-yarder, right, on a 4th and 1 call. Amazing.
First play of the second quarter, 3rd down and 5. Incomplete. Nice defense play. Ball knocked away. That's Sean Myers on the defense. And Kansas State will punt for the first time.
Sean did a great job of being aggressive. You know, sometimes just because you're playing man coverage, number 40 is say, hey, look, we've got to be aggressive, right? I'm going to make a sure tackle in clement weather, all that stuff. But a lot of times guys will get very conservative. And when those little sit-down routes happen there, you can still charge them and pluck them out.
First punt of the game for either side. Simon McClannon gets off a nice one considering the weather. Head the wrong way. Quanell Farrakhan is pushed out of bounds. Actually lost yards. That's a negative 3-yard return. We'll take a timeout. We come back. It'll be the second offensive series for Caden Salter and the Colorado Buffaloes.
Everyone, but mainly it's great for him.
That was Deion Sanders earlier this week. He's talking about his quarterback, Julian Juju Lewis, who had already played in 4 games. If he had played in today's game, he would have burned an entire year of eligibility. By not playing, he still has 4 more years of eligibility.
Absolutely. We'll kind of unpack a little bit more after this play here.
First down to this drive, and just getting back to the line of scrimmage. Not much there. Let the quarterback Salter on the run.
Well, if you listen to the comment, it sounded kind of duplicitous, right? I made the decision. I'm doing what's best for the kids. On the surface, that sounds like it's saying 2 things at once. But Deion is very smart. He's also coaching for the future as well. This is a referendum on the scheme, the process, everything that they're looking forward to. They've already turned the page with the red shirt of Juju. With anybody else who's going to play right now, it's about managing the players right now in this new mobile era that we are in college football. Guys have time to think. They'll leave on you, man, if they don't feel like they've got a chance. You've got to put that carrot out there, Eric, and give them a chance.
That fiscally just makes a ton of sense. You know, he's got 4 more years.
Okay.
If his career doesn't work out the way he wanted to, if he's maybe not the pro prospect down the road, he's always going to be a good college quarterback.
And he's under the same impression that it's going to take him 2 years to establish credibility. No matter what he did in the high school ranks, he's got to establish himself in the minds of the professionals.
3rd down and 6. Salter wants to throw.
Nice.
That's his best pass of the ball game. That's a nice start. He finds Caleb Mathis, and the chains will move.
I like that right there. He had an opportunity. Ray Moss was the nickel, was standing back there, and watch him get right inside number 6 here. That ball is placed right on that inside shoulder away from number 4. Again, Daniel Cobbs, who plays nickel opposite him. Those guys were bracketing him, and they put that ball right there where he can only get it.
Now it's a gusty day in Manhattan. Colorado playing with the wind, going into the wind right now. And they keep it on the ground. Gain of about a yard, maybe 2 for Miller.
That's Moss again on there, knifing in on that nickel position, man. That's right there. When you get a guy who loves to play that position, and he's only about 185 pounds, maybe 5'10", right? But he's able and willing to put his physical body in there. The conditions don't affect him one bit. It could be snowing. He's having fun out there. He's playing at a high level and not unwilling to put his body out there in those physical situations.
Spencer, you play college football this part of the world. You're a 5-year player at Oklahoma. This is your comfort zone, I'd imagine.
Love it, man. On the plains, baby.
Outside run pushed out of bounds after a short gain. Deshaun Rich throws Miller out of bounds.
And even going all the way back to that time, you mentioned Bill Snyder and so forth. They've been playing great defense and special teams for a long time. Anytime we went into Manhattan, man, we were concerned. They always played us tough. And so that place has a great legacy, and we're seeing that demonstrated today.
3rd down and 8. This one won't be easy. Line to gain is the 48. Salter's impressed, but hadn't been asked to do too much so far in our ball game. Blitz. Salter keeps dropping back, and it's incomplete.
Well, I love the fact that Joe
There is a
Klanderman,
flag down, and it's in the backfield where the quarterback was.
yeah, and there was a lot of bodies back there because they were rolling, was Kansas State, to a single high safety look, which meant they were populated.
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
Oh, my.
Defense, number 8, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Chidi Obiazor.
Yep, that big defensive end. He's right there, and he's late. You know, he's got his head up in a good football position, but it's just the timing on it, man. Just a little bit too late.
Well, this helped Colorado the first time they had the ball. A penalty defensively on Kansas State kept them on the field. And now they'll stay on the field again. And they're going to get out close to midfield. Balls can be spotted at the 49. Oh, they're getting moved even further down now. Good golly. Is that right?
Yep.
All the way down to the 40.
So we still got 11 minutes to play, and they got 3 penalties for 35-plus yards.
That was one of the flies in the ointment a week ago for K-State against Utah. Pass is incomplete, trying to get it to Atkins.
And, you know, of those 3 tight ends, I think Atkins was probably the sure-handed guy. But again, dropping the ball, right? That's been part of the inconsistency narrative that we've seen from Colorado this year. No, they lost a ton of talent. But those little gimmies like that, particularly when you got pressure, you had the linebackers doing what we call a scissor stunt. They had taken themselves out of the play and left it wide open, and he still dropped it.
Not much doing on that offensive line. And dragged down is Miller. Another tackle by Gabe Powers, the transfer from Ohio State.
Yeah, but I think Travis Bates was in there as well. Man, watch him. Number 39. They mount him, and he still gets in there some kind of way. He started to let the finished opponent.
So behind the chains, 3rd down and 11. 4 minutes into our second quarter. Hayden's got it. And he actually didn't go down in the first tackle. He was actually bouncing on a body, and that gave him an extra 2 yards. Bring up 4th down, though.
Yeah, I think it was Xavier Hill at 71. Big fella out there does a wonderful job of getting to that edge and putting himself in a position where he can extend that run.
It's a good job officiating to put the ball exactly where his butt landed as opposed to where he landed on another player. They're going to go for it. 4th down and 2. Inside run, Hayden. I don't think so.
Wow.
Still pushing. Will they give him progress?
I think the side judge put him down before the push, but the insurge, yeah, they're going to put it short. But, man, that was a great effort.
Yeah, the whistle must have blown just before that last push.
Whistle's timeout for a measurement.
Oh, my goodness. Haven't seen measurement in a couple weeks.
Yep, I think when that whistle blows, guys are pushing him, and it's a stalemate at this point. Whistle blows, but yet he ends up falling almost a foot past where the first down mark was. That's a moot point, though, if the whistle was blown before.
This used to be a staple of any football at any level, is the chain gain. You never see these guys anymore.
Oh, this technology these days.
Trying to figure out how to do this. How do we do this back in the 90s?
Yeah, they used to say, oh, it's 3 links, look short.
Yeah.
It's short.
Well short. That's a full yard.
Yep.
So maybe just some theater bringing the chains out.
So that's twice now that they have been on 4th and 2 or shorter and come up short.
So Colorado gives the ball over on downs. K-State, the lead of the ball when we come back.
Let's go, bud. Hurry up. Come on. I'm a baseball dad.
Battles Michigan State. And then to cap off the night at 10:30, Fresno State and San Jose State. That's all on FS1. 3rd possession for Kansas State. Scored a touchdown the first time. Ball is loose, and Johnson just falls on it.
Oh, that's an equalizer. You got to hang on to it and be mindful where it is. Joe Jackson had him covered, man, but you got to figure out what's going on. The ball was a little bit low. Like the Senator, number 75, had it coming on a line back to him. Avery got on it, so wasted down.
Is the sun trying to peek out a little bit? Loss of 8. Joe Jackson so far today, 9 carries, 4 yards after 293 a week ago. It's a totally different experience running the football for Jackson as opposed to a week ago against the Utes.
Yep, Sean Myers is making it difficult, man. They're playing good defense. I'm really impressed. Besides a couple of plays, couple of key plays, Brown and company in the back, Sean Myers on that last play at the wheel linebacker position, really active around the ball, showing me some intent.
3rd and 15. K-State not really built for this. Jace Brown, their best receiver, has been out for a while. Lately, their explosive plays have come in the running game, not the passing game. Hey, there you go, 1st down. Pitch and catch, Sterling Lockett. He had that fantastic Kansas State last name.
Yep, inside slot receiver, man, and they came out with 4 wides, right? Their intentions known. Got great protection back, leaking out late, sits it down right inside, doesn't get too greedy. He's got a couple of bodies flying around him, trying to rob that underneath route, but he just settled and stole it from him. That's great football player right there, understanding the scheme.
Comes from great stock. Sterling's dad is Kevin, played at K-State. Brother Tyler. Blake Barnett is the new quarterback.
How about you? Avery's in the game.
Fakes it to the quarterback, Johnson. And Barnett, who is a good runner, this isn't a surprise. Late in the year, Avery Johnson literally has thrown every single pass that Kansas State has thrown this year, and they just don't want him to get banged up anymore.
Yep.
So if they're going to run the football, Barnett's a good option.
Makes good sense. And I love the fact that you leave Avery in the game because he's always a threat as a runner. He's a legitimate dual threat. So if you're cognizant of that, you're going to be mindful that that guy is always, with the ball in his hand, a danger to you.
2nd down and 8. Johnson back in the gun. 4-man rush.
Nice.
And he's caught from behind. That's a good hand strength. Jaheim Otis. He got him with that left paw on the shoulder.
He did.
And was able to bring him down.
Jaheim wasn't going to let him go, man. He got that grip out there. He knows it was just a 4-man rush. But at some point in time, the spin move to come out of that turn and show that great leverage. And that hand, as you said, partner, it's like a claw, man. He grabbed that thing.
Stronger than 10 rows of onions. Transfer from Alabama. He's 6'5", 325 pounds. Toffing Byard on the edge showing blitz. He's coming. They go the other way. It's complete on 3rd down and 9. And just short of the line to gain is Jerron Tibbs. It'll bring up 4th down and short.
Yeah, they're looking for a flag, and I don't think there's going to be one. That's just a good play. Going a little bit pace and tempo to get that ball out of there. Help the execution on that play. Tibbs and company all doing the job.
They called Jerron Tibbs his father, Mr. Tibbs.
Very nice.
4th down and 1. Kansas State's already converted one of these today.
Jumbo power.
And no, not at all. Wonderful job defensively. Keaton Wade blew it up. And Kansas State rushed for close to 500 yards a week ago. They can't even get one on 4th down here.
Well, 71 on the edge. Watch him miss this tackle right here. He's in the backfield, right? The big fella. Watch the pressure come off the edge underneath him, and he just lets him go past him. Whoop, just misses. That's it. I don't care. When they finally put you in the backfield, you got to be able to see that make the play.
Timeout on the field. 6:26 remaining, first half. Their first score of the ball game. 7-0 Kansas State. First down, Gary Hayden.
Wow,
tackled in the backfield. Ryan Davis, welcome back.
They call him Old Buck. That's the Buck linebacker position. Watch number 52 on the edge here. He's kind of got that frog stance, and he comes down unblocked. And he's going to come right down the line of scrimmage and make that play every single time. Yeah, he is strong, man, at the point of attack.
A lot of pent-up energy. Had to miss 3/4 of the game a week ago with a targeting penalty. Salter puts a foot in the ground, tries to throw a dart across the middle. It's incomplete.
Yep. You know, the good thing about Old Davis is that happened early in the game, so he didn't have to miss the second half or the first half of this game. It happened early enough. It was all contained to one contest. But, yeah, it was an inexcusable play, but you can see why he's so valuable to his team. Colorado is feeling it big time.
3rd down and 11. Salter tucks it under his shoulder. Gets out close to the marker. It's going to be 4th down and a yard. Both teams have been aggressive going forward on 4th and short. Will we see it again?
Watch the left tackle right here. He pulls out and just does a great job of pushing the end man off and away from the quarterback so he can get clear.
And a timeout called by K-State before the ball can be snapped. So Chris Kleiman and his staff got a look at the formation and decided they wanted a timeout to talk things over. Back to Manhattan in a moment.
Emmitt Smith is a legendary
Totally different year this year from last year. Of course, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, last year, big part of what they did. Points per game way down, yards differential. Oh my goodness, that is a mountains difference. And the turnover margin, just kind of the vagaries of football.
Well, the roster overhaul is at the root of all of it.
4th down, trying to get to the outside. And what a burst by Micah Welch. I thought he was dead to rights. Micah Welch keeps the Buffalo's offense on the field.
Well, he does a wonderful job of getting out there and getting after it and being consistent with it. I thought they had him too off of the edge, right? The pressure was coming. Malcolm Alcorn was there, number 55, and I thought he had him, Alcorn Crowder, but just didn't miss him. That allowed him to get around the edge and bend that corner.
Earned the scholarship on that one play alone. Quick pitch and catch, not much going on. Short gain. Zach Atkins tackled by Gunnar Maldonado.
I'll tell you, man, Gunnar came from that free safety position. He had a kill shot, man. He showing great honor on that particular play, pulling off because he could have nailed it.
Maldonado's played in 3 different time zones as a college player. Played at Northwestern, played at Arizona, and now playing at K-State. All over. Welch.
Purnell.
Wes Purnell on the tackle, 3rd down and 7.
Wes Purnell punching it in there, man. Looking like Purnell Whitaker, man. He popped in there, man. Popped in there and got in there, man. Bobbing and weaving.
That's getting late early. We're going to go under 4 minutes here in our second quarter. Third down at 7. Blitz. It's picked up. Salter heading the wrong way. Just a up for grabs ball. That'll be the easiest interception of the season.
Donovan McIntosh was sitting back there in that safety position, man, and he wouldn't climb, didn't have to climb the ladder. It was stalled like a duck, man, a mallard, floating up there in the air. Pressure from the backside. Love the fact that you're designed to run away from that pressure, leave him unblocked, but man, you got to put a little bit of something on it.
That could have been the wind.
Yeah, got it. The wind got it. You're absolutely right.
That's got to be the wind. So interception for Donovan McIntosh, his first of the year. Second quarter, a win and Kansas State becomes bowl eligible. They've been to bowls in each of the last 4 years. Late to get off the field. And interesting, after a timeout, they swap out linemen. Dylan Villarreal leaves the field. And caught in the backfield, going nowhere, Antonio Martini is stormed by London Merritt.
Well, watch number 44 come off the edge. He's down on all fours, and boy, he reads and reacts. Fullback and tight end /H. Simpson doesn't want any part of that. He knives in and makes an unbelievable play in the backfield.
For all the Kansas State fans who are watching this game, remembering how they ran wild against Utah, why are they not having the same success today?
Well, I think part of the reason why is you got to be consistent and have a throw game, something to counteract it to affect the numbers. When people are able to stack the line of scrimmage with bodies, it's just physically tougher to get through there.
Martin had a chance. He was a shoelace away from breaking that for big numbers. Preston Hodge saves a longer gain. It is a gain of 7.
Yeah, and just remember, just to finish the point, partner, one thing that Kansas State typically kind of keeps in their back pocket, but has always been dangerous historically, is their tight ends. Their tight ends are unbelievably gifted. They just choose to win this way now because the talent allocated is toward the run game.
Chris Kleiman would love a first down here and keep his offense on the field. Third down at 4.
Great protection.
Johnson. Incomplete. Clock stops. 2:30 to play, and the punt team will come on.
Johnson looked like he was kind of holding a hand there a little bit. It's a nice, I think, a clean hit on him.
Formation for K-State.
Oh, the Malachi crunch.
And that's your boy again, number 44 getting in there, getting after him, man. London Merritt.
It wasn't the front side, it was the back side. Second punt for McClellan. Wow, look at that. Good golly. Dives at the 15-yard line, 62 yards, almost all of it in the air. There was no roll at all. Up and down. Tomorrow on Fox, Matthew Stafford and the Rams get a battle of the Panthers, or Justin Jefferson and the Vikings taking on Sam Darnold and the Seahawks, or other regional action. Check local listings for the game in your area, only on Fox. Okay, another chance for Caden Salter and Colorado. They've had 3 drives so far today. First one, 13 plays, blocked field goal. Next one, 9 plays, gave it over on downs. And most recently, 7-play drive that ended in the interception by McIntosh.
Now, I'm a fact pattern guy, but just look at that 13, 9, and 7. It's almost like a precipitous and inverted reduction in number of plays per drive. That tells you something about what's going on in terms of adjustments being made by the opponent. When you're able to get them out 4, 3, 2, and start reducing the number of possession, you're in the wheelhouse.
Good catch. Stringing out of the backfield, this is Hayden. His best drive of the day. He gets out to the 40. That's a great start. That's a pickup of 24.
Yep, inside zone read. You got help here with your tackle and your off guard pulling. You know, they'll see those yards in the back end, but, you know, the closer they get, they'll tighten it down with numbers.
The 2-minute timeout.
Now we've got an official stoppage as we've made it to the 2-minute timeout. Colorado's got the football. They'd love a score before intermission.
You guys at the break.
Done deal, Mike Gill. Thank you. You've been excellent all season long. Staying on the ground, this is Hayden. Starting to get his legs underneath him. Had 24 yards a moment ago. This one is a solid game as they cross over midfield. Another first down run. Colorado's got all 3 timeouts to work with.
Yep. Let's see how they navigate it again. As we noticed a minute ago, the reduction in plays per series. Let's see if that continues.
Salter. Nobody home.
Nope.
Second down and 10. Just a reminder, Colorado, Deion Sanders won the opening toss and said, you know what, we want to make that decision in the second half, and they will take the football to begin the second half. So this could be one of those back-to-back scoring drives, ending the first half and beginning the second half.
Yeah, they got to navigate this current situation, does Colorado, that they're in with Joe Klanderman. He's dialing up the perfect defenses for the situation. Here now, 2nd and 10, expecting pass. Nice bat.
Still be able to complete. That's Miller with the catch. Omarion Miller. And it'll bring up 3rd down and short. Clock continues to move.
Well, we figured Omarion out there on the outside comes underneath this on a nice in cut. Does a wonderful job of pulling that ball in and completing it.
3rd down and 1. Blitz. They run right into it and get the first down. Some commitment there to the run game. Dallin Hayden. That's the first down he's picked up on this drive alone.
Yeah, Maldonado had a little bit of that heel there as well. That's a nice read, first of all, by the quarterback to hand that ball off. And that's one of the things that he does exceptionally well. He can read the option game. He's an asset in that department.
Well, basically, probably just to reward the offense, Colorado uses a timeout. Offense can catch their breath, get on the same page, get a cool drink of water, figure out how to get it in the end zone for the first time.
Yeah, and then part of that equation is reversing the tide that we saw with the reduction in offensive opportunities per drive. And so as that goes up, you know they're starting to figure out something. Coach Prime maybe knuckle down and challenge those 2 offensive coordinators he's got in a dual role, Brett Bartoloni and Pat Shermer, to find some solutions and get in the end zone. I mean, it feels like Kansas State's dominated, but man, it's one possession game.
A lot of smart, accomplished people on Deion's staff. 3 Pro Football Hall of Famers. Good golly. 5 Super Bowl wins. 27 total aggregate Pro Bowls made. First down and 10. Tackled at the 30 is Hayden.
You know, it's a great point that you're making, partner. The key is how to convert all of that experience and adulation to on-the-field success.
Does that make a difference to 18-year-olds?
It can make a difference, but players play the game. Those guys played the game at a high level, but they're not out there on Saturdays.
Under a minute to play here in our second quarter.
Nice blitz.
Salter! Purnell gets him. It has been an adventurous first half for Wes Purnell, the senior.
Yeah, they got him with the mic and the will. Asa Newsom is the one that does it, but Purnell, Desmond Purnell, the Mike linebackers as well. Watch him come from depth here, right? So you'll see number 32 is involved in it. Well, he switches, and they have what they call a scissor stunt. When they crisscross like that, that's a scissor stunt. And if you're engaged with one guy and you don't see the looper coming around, I'm telling you, he's going to hit his head on the quarterback. Excellent execution there.
Purnell was called for a face mask here in this first half. He atones with a sack. And on 3rd and 17, another timeout with 46 seconds remaining in the quarter.
I'll tell you, Joe Klanderman, the defensive coordinator, is dialing up some really interesting looks that Colorado's having a difficult time discerning and defending. There he is. Good coach right there now.
Now Colorado, if they can just get 10 yards, they might be in field goal range. And that's what they're thinking. Dump down. They've got their 10 and a bunch more. Miller.
Wow.
Stepped out of bounds inside the 5. Omarion Miller with a big play.
Yeah, we talked about all of what they lost again through attrition and losing a Heisman Trophy winner as well, a 2-way player. Now here's a 1-way player that's able to make something happen as well, man. They've got some talent.
On 3rd and 17, they get 37. And whistles blow this one dead.
Prior to the snap, replay stopped the game to review the previous play. The previous play is under further review.
Okay, that's our first.
Well, they're challenging where he went out of bounds, maybe?
I thought it was well before the 1-yard line. I thought it was more like the 4, but.
Well, they needed a big play, irrespective of where it comes up. It's going to be second down. It's just a matter of where they placed it, or potentially first. So let's take a look at it. It's kind of hard to see right there. I'm looking at the side judge. He still thinks he's in because he's still tracking him, watching him into the end zone.
Oh, I thought he went out about the 4. But yeah, maybe he actually made it all the way in the end zone.
I'm looking at the eyes, though, of the guy that's watching him actually on the sideline, and that other shot showed it. That official was still looking at him. He never really looked back.
He put the ball out to the left hand to try and get it over the goal line. The call on the field was out of bounds at the 2. I don't know if there's in this beautiful video. Oh, this is good. Yeah,
right there, that Hill's out right there. The line judge is the one who called it. The side judge was looking at his upper body. The line judge is the one that called it out. And I think that's where they're going to place it, about the 2.5-yard line.
Yeah, they'll have to piece it together because the heel did step out of bounds. But where was the ball at that point?
Well, irrespective of where it ends up being, I think the fact that Colorado's even in a position to make this a tie game as we go to the half is pretty darn impressive. And that's a great point. Max Arnett, our guy, says, hey, does the heel actually come down? And if not,
I think,
At the further review, the runner was out of bounds with the ball at the 1-yard line. It'd be first and goal, Colorado.
Okay, well, they basically confirmed what the call on the field was.
Yep. And if the heel didn't, it was a tapper. It was really quick. You know, it was hard. You know why it was hard? Because those shoes were white and that sideline was white. And you couldn't discern the difference. You know, first thing I do when I see that, I'm looking for that crumb rubber, that black stuff that's in there, that little tires is chopped up. When you see those little black flecks, that means there's some space in between wherever's underneath it and what's on top. Didn't see that.
So Colorado will have a bunch of time to try and punch this in for their first score. It's first down and goal for the 1. Miller's into the game. They're going to keep it with Miller, and he goes backwards. That was a direct snap to Draylon Miller, and he is brought down by Purnell.
Yep, the Mike linebacker, he's been nosy all this series. Again, his battery mate back there at will, Asa Newsom, didn't help, but Mike, the Mike linebacker, came in there flowing. Desmond Purnell, all 232 pounds of it. Watch him flow, read, and react. Come to the outside.
And Miller got a terrible spot. They put the ball outside the 5 at the 6. So it's a loss of 5. Buffaloes have one timeout to work with. Blitz. Salter. Did he? Not quite. Short of the line to gain. That's Mathis down at the half-yard line.
And that's funny, too, man. He was actually in the end zone and had to come out to get the ball. I don't know if he felt like the defender has as much opportunity to steal that one as he had, but great job of bringing it in. But he actually started his leap in the end zone. So right now he's in the end zone, right? And he lands out of the end zone.
Colorado. This is their third and final timeout of the half. It will be a full
So
timeout.
Quay Moss was the man who hit him and made sure he didn't get into the end zone. And it's
Please
third
reset
down.
the game clock to 21 seconds. 0, 2, 1. Thank you.
Third down and goal from the 1-yard line. Colorado has used their last timeout. So just put some opportunities here. They could theoretically run this football, but then you'd be in trouble if you didn't get in. You really have to bust it to get out the field goal unit or run another play.
I wouldn't try to execute a field goal. What I would try to do is either run it or throw it. I'm totally fine with either one. 21 seconds is more than enough time to try either one. And then on that fourth down, you got a time to clock the ball. It's third. So it'll be third down.
Yeah.
It won't be but clock, but I'm just talking about in terms of you don't have enough time to execute a field goal. I don't think.
Okay, so this has got to be a pass then.
Yeah.
Unless you're 100% sure you can run it in.
To stop the clock.
No timeouts for Colorado. If they run the football and do not get in the end zone, they may run out of time. So that being said, Kansas State probably thinking this is a pass.
Yeah, that's going to be an out cut to the wide side of the field. I don't know what. Trying to get a single matchup here.
Oh, they run it.
Good.
And it works. It works. That's a roll of the dice. It works. It's going to be a touchdown for Michael Welch. First touchdown of the game for Colorado.
That was a heck of a call. I mean, I love it because you had me on tiptoes expecting them to go to the wide side of the field and get a single matchup with their wide receiver, who is their most prolific receiver in terms of yardage and touchdowns. Instead, they go inside zone and a nice little run. I like it.
11 plays, 84 yards. And Colorado is an extra point away from tying this game. Alejandro Mata.
Pretty judicious drive, too. Just 2 minutes burned on that.
Mata perfect on the year on extra points. 30 for 30. And we are tied with 18 seconds remaining in the first half.
What a great drive. Stole a lot of time off the clock, and I'm telling you, man, snap and clear mentality. Now the narrative at halftime is totally different than it would have been otherwise. I mean, the way this game started with Kansas State marching the ball down the field via the run game. I think they had 9 straight runs on that one possession, if I'm not mistaken.
Kansas State a week ago had that prolific rushing game, 472 yards against Utah. Today, here in our first half, they've run for 56 yards, which is considerably fewer yards than Colorado has.
17 is now wearing number 15.
Sterling Lockett is back deep.
Return guy.
Second generation Wildcat. Explosive.
Comes from good stock, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Dad Kevin, brother Tyler. They're going to have to put a hand on that. Ball keeps blowing off the tee. It's fallen off twice already. You don't get a third chance. Let's get a finger down there. Wrong side.
Wrong side. I'm a righty. Those wind is taut. It's a nice strong zephyr, a westerly wind around the west.
Up back. And I can't imagine a world in which Kansas State does anything except for take a knee or just an inside run.
Absolutely, just inside run, just 13 seconds here. I don't know why you try anything else. You haven't pushed your luck here. You've played the kind of control ball that defines your program. It's part of your identity. Go in, recalibrate, make some minor adjustments. You don't need to overhaul anything. Just refocus, reset, come back out, page 2.
Jackson is tackled. Clock continues to move. And both sides head to the locker room. Okay, Colorado will receive the second half kickoff. So something to look forward to. It's 7-7 tie. Time to send it to our LA studio with Mike Hill, Chris Peterson, and with a ton to play for. 7-7 tie with Spencer Tillman. I am Eric Collins. We saw the rushing attack for Kansas State a week ago. They didn't win a ball game, but just prolific ground game. They can't do anything right now against this Colorado team that seems to be playing inspired football.
Yeah, Colorado's defense is playing well, but I want to go to the offensive side of it. I think this Colorado offense has been surprising from a standpoint of no penalties, right? That's kept them clean. Salter's done a wonderful job. He had the one pick for sure. And then on fourth down a couple of times when they went for it, they couldn't get it. Otherwise, we're standing here, and this would typically be a blowout. You and I certainly thought that would be the case when Kansas State came out looking like they were turning the page from their Utah, although on the short end of that one, come up occupying 7 minutes and 40 seconds in that first drive that they had, and it looks like they were just picking up where they left off last week. But again, what keeps Caden Salter and this Colorado Buffalo team in it is their clean play and the relative balance that they have. Only 78 yards receiving, but 84 rushing. That's a classic balance that you're looking for to keep games close, and that's reflected in the score.
Colorado has twice the amount of first downs as K-State. Okay, clean slate, 7-7 tie, 30 minutes remaining in the regular season for both Colorado and K-State. That's the punter, Simon McClanahan, who also doubles as the kickoff specialist. Quentin Gibson Back deep to receive for Colorado.
Let's see what Q can do back here with the ball.
Here we go. Third quarter's underway. And out across the 25-yard line to the 27-yard line. That is the up back, Caleb Mathis on the return. If you're just joining us, Caden Salter getting the start. He has started a handful of games throughout the course of the year. Lost the starting job to Julian Juju Lewis. Lewis not playing today. They're trying to save a year of eligibility. If he would have played today, it would have been his 5th game, which means it would be an entire year. He would no longer have his red shirt. Lewis still has 4 full years remaining. Salter with a chance in his final game of the season, the senior from Cedar Hill, Texas.
Just considered a long audition, and I think not just at the quarterback spot, but for every position on this Colorado Buffalo team, Deion Sanders has got to find some solutions.
Designed quarterback draw, and it fooled no one. Ryan Davis has had a nice ball game. Also in the mix, Malcolm Alcorn Crowder.
Yeah, he really has played well at that buck position. That's the outside linebacker. Watch number 52 down. He comes down, and he totally ignores the pulling guard from the other side and gets underneath all that trash and makes an outstanding play on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Playing with a little bit of pace now. 2nd and 12. Salter. He can run. He's got the first down. And Salter out to midfield.
Wow, that's impressive, Eric. I thought Stufflebean had him. You know, Corey, number 47, watch him when he goes upfield. Once he turns his shoulders upfield, and this is one of the things that he can do. He's a legitimate dual threat guy. He turns upfield, and it's like he's tagging him, right? Man, you got to go get that guy. You got to go get him, man. So, wow.
22 yards on that keeper.
That's how you corral him.
Welch tackled Gunnar Maldonado.
Yeah, Maldonado from the free safety position trying to show his fellow teammates how you do it. That's very un-Klanderman-like. Joe Klanderman usually teaches those guys the fundamentals, and they're all over it. I don't know if that's a tenable response, but here's how you do respond to this. This is proper tackling. With leverage, knowing you got help on the outside and corralling that guy down. That's some mutton busting right there.
Dallin Hayden back into the game. Salter again leaves the pocket, lowers the shoulder, and gets the first down.
Well, Daniel Cobbs popped him pretty good, and man, I think maybe you thought he was going to go down and try to protect himself, but no, stays up and just absorbs this punishment here. Just a 4-man rush, so not great pressure. Maybe got a little away with a little holding call right there in Colorado. But a wonderful job of finishing on the back end.
Salter listed at 6'1", 190, but he runs a little harder than you'd expect.
He runs heavy, and I think some of that is he lopes when he runs. He gives you the impression that he's not running that fast, man. He's covering a lot of ground.
First down at 10. Tight end Atkins got it. Breaks the tackle. Inside the 35.
I hope we get a chance to take a look at this, man. When you watch how this ball is thrown upfield so that Atkins can turn his shoulder and get upfield vertically really, really quick. That's what makes the difference. A lot of times you got a guy that doesn't have anybody on him, but the ball is thrown on his back shoulder. He has to catch it, turn upfield. But when it's in front of you and there's no coverage, man, you're still running.
Salter gesturing towards the sideline as if he couldn't hear. Miller stopped after a gain of a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
That's an interesting concept there. You know, I'm used to seeing what we call split flow, where you have guys going in opposite direction trying to mess around with the eye discipline of the linebackers and their assignment. Those two men with the same direction. And it really doesn't do anything to affect the defense. So I'm not sure if they're setting up something here. We'll see what they do on this play.
Late defensive substitutions being allowed for Kansas State. K-State on the outskirts of field goal range. 3rd down at 3.
3 down linemen, 4 up front, 4-man rush.
Nope, not going to get there. Hayden spun down. It'll bring up 4th down and a decision for Deion Sanders and the Buffaloes. Let's go to Mike Hill in LA for an all-state game break.
Of course, we got the game over on Fox. Ohio State, Michigan, 10-9 Buckeyes, late second. Julian saying to Brandon Ennis on 3rd and goal. Ohio State, 6 for 8 on 3rd and 4th down so far in this one, up 17-9 at the half. Eric and Spencer.
Great stuff. Thank you, Mike. They're going to go for it. 4th down at 2. Inside run. and I don't think he got there.
Wow.
Hayden pushed the pile, and I don't think he got there.
He may have about 6 inches short, man. And it was clean gap between that white line and yep.
Nope, didn't get there. Not even going to measure. It is going to be Kansas State football.
Well, we've seen this, right? We've seen it 3 other times today on 4th and 2, twice in the first half. Again, Deion Sanders denied.
We are back. Manhattan, Kansas. 10:46 remaining, third quarter. Buffalo's had a chance. Couldn't convert on 4 downs. So Kansas State, their first and second half look. Avery Johnson, the only quarterback for Kansas State this entire season who has thrown a pass.
Well, his game is option, right? He's got legs. He can read, complement to what they were doing and have become over the last 3 weeks.
Let's see if they can get the ground game going. 472 rushing yards a week ago. An eighth of that so far in our ball game, and that's a good start. Joe Jackson stepping out, 8 big yards.
Oh, just ask Jeremiah Brown if he's stepping back. Watch number 42 absorb this shot here. Brown comes down and he's going backwards. Moonwalking, baby. Oh, big fella.
48 yards for Jackson. This is a week after he ran for 293. So a bit of a come down, but there's time. Johnson to throw. That's a dart. Nobody home. Wow. Receiver fell down. That was Tibbs on the ground.
Yeah, that was a nice 3-quarter field attempt. You don't see him make those kind of throws. That's a next level kind of throw, right? Got receivers out there that can get open. That's his ex-receiver, the most prolific one he has. And if you're going to make that attempt, that's the guy to do it with.
Now Chris Kleiman and his offensive coordinator Matt Wells, they hate 3 and outs. It's not good for anybody, offense or defense. So these are desperate times. They would love to get this. And it's going to be a Wildcat formation. Blake Barnett is the new quarterback. They put Johnson out in the slot. Design quarterback run and nowhere close. Barnett has not thrown a pass all season long, so you bring him in there, you're assuming it's going to be a run.
Yep, and that's what you're trying to do, get eyes disciplined and out that way. But just to watch Sean Myers, number 40 and company, they stay home and does a great job with their run fits, right? Being exactly not allowing all of that horizontal direction and movement to affect them.
K-State is playing for a bowl bid. That's their third 3 and out today. And the decision to let the ball bounce, not a good one. Ball will roll all the way down to the 10-yard line. That is a 51-yard punt for McClellan. Colorado ball when we come back.
Colorado did respond, but again, Kansas State, this is what they do, special teams. You talked about Coach Snyder. He was a stickler for it, and that tradition continues. Got returns on the opposite side of that from the defense. The one mistake made, and then the stop on 4th down. This was absolutely huge that put them in a deep hole. And so they've got to have an answer, man.
We've got a new quarterback in the game for Colorado. Ryan Staub is going to be this quarterback. He's got a little bit of playing time this year. 30 passes completed on the season, and he hands the ball off to Dallin Hayden. We didn't see this coming. We were not told that Staub was going to play, but he's getting an opportunity.
Yeah, but this is predictable, right? The guy's only like 6'1", which actually is decent size, 200 pounds. But this is Deion Sanders managing his roster, managing for the future. You have to throw these guys a bone. The bottom line is you've redshirted your 5-star guy. You've got the playing time for the other transfer sophomore behind him. Now give this guy a little bit. You're not going to any bowl games. This is good management right here.
Staub has started before this year, started a game against Houston. That'll be another negative play as the defense has been whipped into a frenzy for Kansas State.
Love that move, though. Love that move, and I love the idea. Again, the read zone not there enough. Great pressure coming down fast and hard from the outside. Again, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide on that particular play.
So a 3rd down and 8. They'll go back to the starting quarterback, Caden Salter. Ball's at the 12-yard line. Wildcats showing blitz. Here it comes. Salter. He's been impressive running the football. This time pays the price. He got stood up by Logan Bartley, true freshman. from Naples, Florida, number 10.
And we sang this a couple of times. Now watch the scissors twist. Watch the linebackers crisscross. They take themselves out of the play. They're going to literally crisscross one another's responsibility, but then they vacate a void on the opposite side. Great job by Salter releasing away from the numbers where the fewest guys are. That's good football right there.
There have been a lot of games like this with Kansas State over the years. Low-scoring, late November games where special teams turns the game. This is a real opportunity. You got Lockett back to receive this punt. Low kick. Fortunate to get it out of there. And Lockett has to run away from it as it dies inside the 45 at the 44. 39-yard punt.
For roughing the kicker, the ball was tipped.
Ball was
First down, Kansas State.
Oh my goodness, that should have been blocked.
Yeah, it should have been blocked. And if you had your cape off, you get that one.
Yeah, that was Ralph Ortiz, who probably should have blocked that, just barely missed it. Home Team Stats sponsored by Wayfair, every style, every home. What a vast difference between what we saw on the ground a week ago in Salt Lake City as opposed to today for K-State.
Well, they rushed into the record books against Utah, man, and they hung nearly that much at halftime. Right now, struggling in a big way. Huge.
Couple of tight ends in the game, and they choose to throw it. Johnson gets it out. Will Swanson across the 40.
I told you, man, they've got these tight ends, and wherever they put them, they'll put them in a slot or wherever they are. They're a mismatch. Again, they get a nice little twist. Guys rubbing off one another.
Kansas State's one of those schools. It seems like they can always find a tight end, or at least get a tight end body and transform him into a quality Division I player.
And I love the way they strategically pick their tight ends. Usually there's a narrative or some type of legacy connection there, and they get leadership on top of ability out of that position. It's one of the things that Coach talked to us about that makes coaching there a challenge, but yet also something that is attractive if you can find those right players.
Second down and 8. Joe Jackson moves up next to Johnson. Keeper. Johnson hasn't run quite a bit today, but he gets to the edge and leans over the line to gain.
Well, Hodge and company were coming after him, man, but the guy's got assets. He can really run, and I just love the way he looks, mesh, then decides to read it, and then just outruns everybody. Got great speed. He needs to learn how to get down a little bit earlier. No, he's probably trying to bend down, but man, if you're standing up like that, they're going to tag you.
So we move under 6 minutes to play third quarter. Second half possession for Kansas State.
Underlook with a little soft spot over here on the left right side.
Play action. Deep drop for Johnson.
Nice.
And a nice crossing route results in a first down to Jerron Tibbs.
Getting down there around the sticks, man, around that red area. Guys got to really start watching and pass some guys off. From the inside slot position, the short motion, and then the shallow crossing route, just drifting, got a natural pick inside. We've seen that 3 times today where natural picks, or we're not going to call them picks, they're natural rubs that are created that allow for a guy to come wide open.
Every offensive coordinator is going to correct you on that. They're rubs. They're not picks. We don't do picks here.
That's right.
Gain of 21 yards to Tibbs. Play clock's down to 4. Jackson to the 5. Did he?
No. I thought he did.
No, just shy.
Wow.
Now they give him the touchdown. Delayed gratification for Joe Jackson. It was worth the wait if you're a K-State fan.
We think he may be short, but delayed gratification, whether I think that knee might be down, partner.
Yeah.
The knee may be down just before the ball crossed the line of scrimmage, so it may come back. But I like the fact that
At next expedited review, running is down with the ball at the 1 yard line.
well,
Second
like
down.
any good deferred gratification experience is going to come later.
Well, they got that down quick. They call it an expedited review, and the ball's going to be spotted at the 1.
I think we spot like the technology there. It was an expedited review in real time because we were otherwise we'd be sitting here waiting and knowing in our minds that he was a little bit short. but that was a real-time, great job by the officiating crew there to adjudicate that in real time. That's awesome.
Referee Luke Richmond making the announcement that the expedited review has the ball on the 1-yard line, and that's just being communicated right now to Avery Johnson at K-State.
Mike Pereira, you ought to have that on your reel this week, man. That was good stuff this week.
Hey, we got a big package of a couple of seniors coming on the field. Cody Stufflebean, number 47, normally a linebacker, and Oso Seumalo, number 99. They both checked into the game. 2 seniors with a chance for a little bit of senior day glory. 47 is Stufflebean, 99 is Seumalo. And they give it to Jackson. He rides behind the seniors for a touchdown. Oh, that's cool.
That is cool, isn't it?
2 senior defenders playing on offense, and they lead the way for a touchdown.
Watch 99, Seumalo, the big fella, right here. Boom! You're not going to stop him, man. Oh, I love it.
What if that one play gets him drafted in the NFL as a right guard? Wow.
He probably lobbied to be in the backfield. That's where he was.
All smiles again for Kansas State after some nervous moments. No longer tied. It is a Wildcat lead once again, 14-7 in Manhattan.
Very effective, man. He's trying to stack him up big time against Utah. Went for 293. He's showing you why he's such an asset and giving this team an identity to get an identity back that they once lost.
Career rushing touchdowns, not many. First 21 games, but for the last 3, he's got 6. He had 3 last week. He's got 2 today, so the last 2 weeks you could call him Jackson 5. Colorado, Mathis on the return, out across the 25 to the 27, maybe the 28. Let's see about the quarterback situation. Last drive started with Ryan Staub as the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, some talk or speculation as to why Staub was actually in the game. I personally think it was intentional and part of the strategy to be able to get those quarterbacks some playing time because, you know, they won't be in a bowl game. So getting some experience, I think, can satiate these kids just a little bit.
We have seen Salter, though, gesture to the sideline that he's having a hard time with his helmet, maybe hearing what he should be hearing.
Indeed.
Quick pitch and catch. This is Omarion Miller. Short gain on first down.
Tough play. Wham screen into the short side of the field. Don't have a lot of space to navigate. And again, he wants to get his guy out of there, but you know it's really a restricted kind of situation. There's just not enough room to do anything more than what he did.
Salter began his college career at Tennessee. He was Conference USA MVP in 2023 as a Liberty Flame. Got there. That'll be first down.
Looked like it took a minute to get to Brown there, but it kind of dipped just a little bit. I'm trying to assess. I'm not going to say fully what I think of his arm just yet. But that ball looked like it had a rope on the end of it. It just kind of died on the back end. You want that ball to be on a line.
First catch, Sincere Brown this afternoon. Micah Welch to the left side.
These are the guys that I thought was actually going to be able to help Colorado stay in the game. Again, it was going to be asking a lot because they were averaging 123 yards along with Welch and company in the backfield. Not a prolific running group, to be sure. That's not a commentary on them personally. It's just they haven't been great at running. Deion knows that. He's searching for solutions now, and this is the long audition.
Second down and 6. Salter slings that one. Nobody home. A little bit too strong for Miller. That'll bring up third down.
Got to be careful because, you know, Miller wasn't open, actually. There was a safety over the top, and if that ball's thrown just a little bit less hot than it was over the top, that safety could have come underneath that and possibly get headed the other direction.
Colorado just 1-7. Big 12 play. They have not won a road game. Four-man rush. Salter running out of time. Pushed out of bounds, well short of the line to gain. maybe Colorado thinks about going for it.
Well, they've tried 3 other times on 4th down today, and the first 2 come to mind. This is 4th and 3. Let's see what they do.
And punt team will come on.
Punt. Yeah.
Kind of in that awkward range that maybe you consider it. But nope, they're going to punt it. Damon Greaves. Just the second punt of the afternoon for Greaves. And the ball just checks up, doesn't even get to the 20-yard line. Not a great effort. Good starting field position for K-State. Weekdays on FS1, sharp minds talking everything that matters. Wake up, Barstool, the Herd. First things first, it's sports talk that never lets up. Weekdays on FS1, no brainer.
Good content right there, man.
Well, we are in Manhattan, Kansas, about 130 miles away from Wichita. The guys in front of Avery Johnson, you can call him the Wichita lineman if you're
that's right.
Glenn Campbell fan.
Glenn Campbell, absolutely.
The Wichita lineman and
The Wichita lineman.
the reigning Big 12 offensive line of the week. The performance they had last week in Salt Lake City against Utah. Designed rollout. Complete. Out to the 27-yard line. Short gain, Sterling Lockett, a gain of 4, maybe 5.
Well, this is, let's see, a 4-man rush with edge pressure coming as well. So this man coverage behind it. So it would be just one defender on him. So it was definitely man coverage. I think what Colorado needs to be mindful of, Eric, is they've got to get a stop here, right? Because I think Kansas State, as we approach the 4th quarter, is able to possess the ball 7 minutes, 40 seconds like they were. And they're going to steal possession from them. They have got to hold here to have enough time to have a reasonable expectation to get back in this.
Quarterback Johnson's only run it 4 times for 12 yards. He's always a threat. Hands it off to Jackson. And Jackson has a first down. He runs hard.
Yeah, you talk about yak yardage, yards after contact. I guarantee you that was at least 5 here after the initial spin. So you can see it's a read zone inside. Got a tight end coming to help you. Boom, there's his contact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 yards after the initial contact right there. He spins off of it. He's like a whirling dervish, man. This kid right here, plus yardage.
He's earned it. 17 rushes, 65 yards, couple of tutties for Joe Jackson.
Reverse, look, fake reverse.
Fake reverse, this is Moss. And Moss running hard, crosses the 40, it's a pickup of 8 yards. That is Quay Moss. There's actually 2 6s that play for Kansas State. Moss is usually a quarterback. You also got 6 Sterling Lockett, but that was Moss.
And I think they got Alexander McPherson and those guys in there now. You're looking at the offensive side of the equation here, but on the defensive side, what you're seeing is the 3rd and the 4th guys in there. They're short of bodies right now up front.
Johnson to the edge, out of bounds.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what Matt Wells is doing.
The 3rd quarter.
We have made it to winning time. The 4th quarter in Manhattan, Kansas. K-State hoping for a bowl berth. Stick around for the 4th. To a bowl game. They need to win to be bowl eligible. First play of our 4th quarter. Kansas State the lead and momentum. Scored a touchdown last time they had it. This pass is incomplete.
This is what they don't want to do, play left-handed. And then, their artistry is extending games, right? Possessing the ball, running it. You don't want to stop the clock by throwing it, even though this particular situation is different right now. You want to keep that clock moving.
Game started with snow squalls. It's all gone now. We've actually had a little bit of sunshine. Still a windy day. Keeper. Johnson. Close to the line to gain, and LePen on the spot.
You know, Avery probably knows where that line is. I'm just splitting hairs here. But if you're going to take the occasion to run the ball, just be mindful of where that line is so that you can preserve downs. So now you're 3rd and 1. You're in a tough spot. I think he probably could have maneuvered around that one defender that he had.
I don't think they're really that scared of 3rd and 1. It's almost like an extra play. They can get this, right?
You just run it to the right here where that soft spot is. No adjustment either.
They go straight forward, and I don't know. Antonio Martin in relief of Joe Jackson. And it's going to be 4th down.
You know, Jeremiah Brown came off that edge. You know, I don't know why. There was no adjustment. Look at the soft spot over the right side right here. That little soft spot is a natural gap there. In fact, the nose tackle even goes to the left on a port side charge to make it even softer. So he opened it up for you. Still couldn't get the 1 yard.
Okay, they're going to go for it. No decision. This is 4th down and a half of yard now. Tight formation.
Oh.
Johnson can run it. Yep, easy. 1st down gain for Johnson. Made a good decision. Was thinking big play, and then just said, you know what, I got 5 easy yards. We'll keep the game clock rolling.
Yeah, this is a classic run-pass option here. I want you to see it. If I'm a defender, when he cleanly comes out of this turn and runs, what do I do? Do I take the quarterback, or do I stay with the guy that's running? If whatever I do, I'm going to be at a disadvantage, and the quarterback just sees it and just takes the yards.
And now the way that Kansas State's playing, in no hurry at all, they bring in Blake Barnett again. So Barnett will be the quarterback. He's got Johnson next to him. Now they split Johnson out wide. Barnett has not thrown the ball this year as a quarterback, but he has run it extensively. He's tackled by Jeremiah Brown. It's a gain of 4. Barnett's a youngster getting playing time. Redshirt freshman from Erie, Colorado. Physical, powerful runner. He's got a chance in the years to come.
This whole group right here, they're solid, man. Great football players right here to close out a football game.
Jackson. He'll be 2 yards short of the line to gain.
There's a long line of great ones. I remember L. Roberson. I'm going back on you, partner.
Oh, yeah.
Long time ago.
Sure.
Michael Bishop.
Oh, big, strong. Yeah.
A long line of great running quarterbacks, and this is what Kansas State has been able to do to salt games away late. And I'm not suggesting that Avery's in that class, but this is what you've got to be able to do. This is the style that they use to close games out.
Barnett's back in at the quarterback spot. 3rd down and 2.
Do his Colin Klein impersonation.
Barnett able to get the 1st down. I think he saw a ghost at the first part, and then cleared out of his head, got his 1st down.
Yep. That's a Colin Klein kind of play right here, man. A little ride and mesh. Gets underneath, gets his shoulders north and south, gets as much as he can. Good job.
I've done a bunch of Kansas State games over the years. Aren't too many people who are more popular in Manhattan, Kansas than Colin Klein for the way that he played. 12th play of this drive. Started with 2:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Jackson back deep behind Johnson. Jackson full head of steam. Down to the 17.
Number 3, Tion Hutz.
Now if you're Colorado, you got to wonder about the headspace right now.
No question, man. The stealing possessions is what we've talked about before. You know, they demonstrated on that opening drive at Kansas State. This becomes about points per possession.
10 runs, 2 passes on this drive. They pass it again, and it's incomplete. Nice defense played by Parks. Tion Parks out of Detroit.
Well, you got off coverage here, right? You're going to play catch. Eyes are nowhere but on the potential receiver right there. You know you've got an underneath help with that linebacker dropping in that hook area. But it's all you, man. And the great ones right there love that matchup. It's just me on an island.
He has a hard time cutting his steak with that thing on his left hand, though. 3rd down and 6. Incomplete, threw it behind Tibbs. Clock stops, 10:28 remaining.
See, that's the thing about it. That's twice on this drive. Even though it's been extended, and I'm splitting hairs here, you just don't want to do that. Stop the clock and give a team a chance. 4th and 6.
So we haven't seen a successful field goal today. All scores have been touchdowns. Luis Rodriguez, he is 12 for 14 on the year in field goal attempts. This will be a 35-yarder. The holder's the punter, Simon McClannon.
This is going to be pressure for Colorado to score quickly if he makes it.
Center cut. Can't do any better than that. Luis Rodriguez makes it a 10-point lead for Kansas State. Last week, somewhat surprising, over their former coach, Brett Bielema and Illinois.
How about that, man? You're Luke Fickell, you're digging that. You'll take that.
Oh, my goodness. They were left for dead on the side of the road, but apparently not. Colorado has the football. This is their largest deficit of the afternoon. Down 10. 2 second-half possessions have gone nowhere.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And kind of to chop that thing up, to use your parlance there, 8 plays, 26 yards on those last 2 drives, 2 punts. And again, if we were to put those previous graphics up where they control the ball in the first quarter, you would see the number of plays per possession go down precipitous. It's like it's an inverted 13, 9, 7, 8, 2, 2, you know.
Salter, longest pass of the day. Where you been?
Wow.
It's complete. Miller's got it all the way down to the 30-yard line.
Well, Donovan McIntosh is the right cornerback. I'm not sure how he got him behind him, but again, he pulls up and just slings this up, and he leaves it up just enough where his receiver can go climb the ladder and make that ball. Excellent job.
43 yards on the pitch and catch. To the skies again.
Nice.
Caught! Oh, wonderful hands by the tight end, Atkins. May have landed on the foot. No, they say no catch.
Wow.
2nd down.
Well, irrespective of whether they give him the completion, Brett Bartolone is dialing up some great plays. A little split flow here to create protection. Do a nice job of picking that up. Yeah, he trapped that.
It's just timeout.
Not only did he trap it, he landed on the ball. Yeah. He could knock the wind out.
Point of that ball, you're absolutely right. Hit him right in the sternum, man. And believe me, that leather's full of air, man. It hurts.
We have an official timeout as they look at the catch again.
But look where that ball is laid, though. I mean, we're looking at the catch, and it obviously is trapped. But I just love the play selection. Got one safety back there covering, and that was Logan Bartley, number 10. He's the closest one on that back end, but that dropped right between the underneath and over-the-top coverage. Brett Bartolone calling the plays now. Pat Shermer so dialed in, and his countenance, I think, really made for that transition to be something that they could handle.
2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. First run of this drive. Seumalo's ready for it.
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to break out in the haka, man, any minute. But he's been on the goal line already. He's a senior. These guys right here are special, man. They know it. Big fella, making a difference. And the thing I love about it, this game right here, if they don't win this game, and, you know, again, I'm not predicting anything, they end the season with questions, not closure. They need closure, and they need to finish strong, and that's going to help them do that.
3rd down and 10. Here's the blitz. Salter.
Wow.
Incomplete. Flag comes in late. They throw the flag down late in coverage with Zayshawn Rich. He thought he got away with it for a moment.
Well, Zayshawn.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 25. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Looked like he did a whole bunch of jersey and shoulder pad with the left hand.
There's a lot going on, but I think the thing that probably indicted him and made it easier to throw is the fact that his back was to the ball. If he'd have turned and oriented his body toward the ball and claimed it as his own, the official couldn't have made that call.
Colorado, with nothing to play for, has not committed a penalty all day long. That's pretty impressive.
Pressure.
Salter throws it away.
And it was that pressure that wouldn't allow Salter to get on his platform, man. And he had to get rid of that ball. That's absolutely right.
For intentional grounding, the quarterback was outside the tackle box and the ball went beyond the line of scrimmage. It's second down.
Well said.
Well, he was moonwalking, man, but Joe Klanderman is saying, hey, look, we had the guy dead to rights. Hard to tell, but let's use your imaginary lines going up the field where those tackles are. I don't think he was outside the tackle box.
Ball didn't make the sideline. Or the line of scrimmage didn't bounce for that.
I think there was a whole foot or more.
Okay. I'm with you. Second down at 10. Welch to the 15. Desperate possession for Colorado. They need points. 3 wouldn't be the worst thing. 7 would be ideal.
They're going to play a cover 2 shell behind this, so let's see if somebody can find a soft spot, tacking the grass right in that middle space right underneath.
Salter escapes. Pump fake. He's got the first down all by himself. Caden Salter.
Here's the naked part of the field. It didn't matter if it was going to be a throw or run. Where he was going to end up was in the middle of the field. That's where the grass was, and he ran to it. Released to the opposite side of where his numbers were, came back upfield. That's just great football and instincts right there by a young player that's finding himself in this one.
Working the dead leg. Picks up 10. First and goal. Welch to the 2. Maybe the 1.
Eric, football's not complicated. You run where they ain't. That's what we used to say in the old days. Run to the grass or the naked spot of the field. They're going to do the same thing down here.
Halfway through our 4th quarter. Buffalo's knocking on the door. Still no whistle. And now he's down at the 1. Seumalo took his legs out.
I think the opportunity was just a little bit to the left of where he was and not quite sure he had to leave his feet. Just look at the soft spot, the reduction on the end.
They're going to go for it. Tempo. 3rd down.
That's it.
No problem. Touchdown. Easy 6 for Micah Welch.
Well, that's where the hole was on the previous play that he was on. It was on that left side with what we call a reduction. The defensive end was down. You got a similar look here. Just take it right off the edge, man. Kick out block. Don't need a lead blocker.
So Colorado, their first touchdown of the second half. And they're an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And it is a 3-point game. Final game of the season for Colorado, and they're still playing hard. 9-play, touchdown drive, 3-point game.
And he does it in different ways. You may or may not like his style, but he is so effective at communicating the heart and the will of his enterprise.
Colorado has not won a road game this year. They're 1-7 in Big 12 play, but on their final day of the season, they're still going hard in the 4th quarter. Well, we do know for a certainty who's going to be in the Big 12 championship game. It will be BYU, and it will be Texas Tech.
Somebody said that Texas Tech defensive front is the best front defensively the money can buy, man. And I know this much. They are solid through and through, and they've got one of the best coaches around. To get them, Joey is just one of those guys, man, where he's a legend in Texas in the high school area.
Yeah.
He's got his finger on the pulse of everybody there. All the high school coaches know him. They don't want for great talent every year.
Kansas State, can they answer a drive with a drive of their own? Jackson, forced out of bounds. That is the youngster, Isaiah Harge, who plays both ways. The converted wide receiver with a nice defensive play. Harge has got a future. Sophomore from South Florida. He's from Hollywood, Florida. You can find a good football player down there over the years. Loss of a yard. Lockett, the man in motion. Jackson trying to chew up some clock. He's got the first down. That's vintage Joe Jackson.
Well, that's one good way to chew up clock right there. Jeremiah Brown's trying to get him number 42. And again, not before he's got at least 9-10 yards almost, man. That's it. That'll keep the clock running.
They list him at 6 feet 212. He's got good sized legs. I don't know if it's just because he's blousing his pants, but those thighs look like they're going to work.
He's well put together, man. You can see. Look at the calf and the thighs.
Another chance. Jackson.
I can hear old Frank Broyles saying, look at those thighs, Keith.
You're right. I can hear it too. Vintage college football analysis.
Yes.
He's cut up like coleslaw, as they would say, right?
You bet. Late John Blake. Oh, man. That's original from him.
K-State trying to become bowl eligible with a win. Jackson, full head of steam. Best run of the day. Out across the 45 to the 43.
That man right there is running with attention. He may have got dinged, man, but he just keeps on going. It's like that Energizer bunny. He's very kinetic, great eyes, vision. And he's one of those, what I call a flashback. Some guys will stare down the person that they're running away from. This guy flashes. He sees you, and he's got his focus off of you, looking for the open space. Very, very instinctive runner.
So he backed up his 293-yard day a week ago with 106 yards this afternoon.
Oh.
And again, clock moving. One thing on Colorado's side is they have all three of their timeouts at their disposal.
Yep. Just from that play standpoint, again, they're still trying to find a way to stop him, Jeremiah Bryant and company. But this running back, man, I wish, now you know why I like to stand in the back of the end zone. Because those little moves there, when the run fits are perfect, this guy still finds a void in there. He's absolutely amazing to watch.
Got to give it to Jackson. Nope, they're going to pass it. Johnson, complete. Tibbs, first down, Wildcats.
You know, every series has ebb and flow, right? And so we've got you focused on the run game. Now we're going to free release our back and then come underneath. And then just a little check down route. Nothing special. Tibbs just sits it right down with leveraged defender on this inside. Got another double-digit gain.
Playing in bowl games is not just about the bowl game and the exotic locations. It's about the practices, it's about the habits, it's about the time with the coaching staff. A lot of things go into playing postseason action.
The development.
Left some meat on the bone. Snap that with 6 on the play clock. Pushing the pile. Wildcats really want it now.
Yeah, and you can see it, man. Even though Jeremiah Brown, number 42, gets acquainted with this back like he has been all day, watch the push. Low man wins.
Goodness.
If I get my hat underneath your shoulder pads, I'm going to push you back. It doesn't matter that you weigh 22 pounds more than me. I'm going to get you on your heels.
Well, this is all well and good for Kansas State, but if they don't get into the end zone, the Buffaloes still have a pulse.
No question.
Field goal really doesn't do Kansas State a lot of good. A touchdown almost solidifies things. Second down and 1. Jackson, first down and more! Touchdown! How about this kid Jackson? Joe Jackson refusing to go down.
Well, we'll look at it again. I don't think his knee touched. It was too exciting to say anything other than that. The spin, the whirling dervish, and he.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man.
Joe Jackson, how do you do? 2 consecutive weeks with 3 touchdowns.
The spin meister right there, man. Most of his explosive plays have come after the initial contact. That's the thing I like about his game.
Well, that may just do it. Kansas State needing a win to become bowl eligible. They currently have a 10-point stiff arm on Colorado.
A wonderful job, her son.
Time for today's player profile, sponsored by Google. He has backed up his 293-yard game a week ago with a .33 this afternoon.
Well, he is special. This kid right here runs with intention, man. Just a brilliant job of keeping a game Colorado Buffalo team on the sidelines.
Oh, trouble!
Doctor.
Colorado fortunate to have the football. Just handed a note. Joe Jackson the last 2 weeks, 408 rushing yards with 6 touchdowns.
Wow.
That is crazy numbers.
Man, that's getting up there, Barry Sanders-esque kind of numbers. And
Gale Sayers.
yeah, you alluded to Barry's numbers, his Heisman Trophy year. Most of those games weren't on TV at that time, and he was racking up 235, 289. I mean, it's just every week he looked up.
I want to apologize to the good people out there in the Sunflower State. I just mentioned Gale Sayers on a Kansas State broadcast. Those are fighting words, right?
Exactly.
You can't talk about a Kansas player in a Kansas State broadcast.
It was the comment, though, man. Gotta
Kansas comment. We'll go there, yep. Salter. Incomplete. Had a bunch of time and just couldn't make the connection with Miller.
Yep, it's all about timing in real time. The game has got to slow down for him. He's got time. This young man's going to be around for a little bit. Love the way Deion Sanders has handled his quarterbacks. Not burning the red shirt and keeping it on, his 5-star recruit. Juju will be around for a long time to come.
Colorado has all 3 timeouts. They need a score this time with the football. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Really, the only good news for Colorado through the first 2 plays of this drive is they haven't taken a lot of time. 2 incomplete passes.
Yep, Draylon Miller, he's that third back in that lineup that they have, and they've got to be able to complete passes to him, whether it's in the backfield or as a back or a receiver. Seam.
4-man rush.
Nice. There it is.
Drive continues. Nice pitch and catch out to the 39-yard line. Omarion Miller.
You can see that seam route just sitting there, right? That's 14-plus yards, man, on that one. He squats it down and sees it there. They weren't using a Y, but that inside receiver acted just like one.
Oh, they just get it off before the 2-minute timeout. And they get another first down. Kansas State may have thought that we're going to get to the 2-minute timeout and took the foot off the gas, and it allows a pickup of 15 more yards for Mr. Atkins. Timeout. 2 minutes remaining. 10-point game in Manhattan. A 3 would work. A touchdown would work.
Yeah, they need a miracle, no question about that. They need to do it fast, too. That's the deal.
Salter on first down. Little crossing route to Miller. That's going to keep the clock moving.
Yep.
Short gain. Pickup of just a yard.
Preston Hedges, good job of him coming up and defending to keep him in play. Clock, more importantly, continues to roll.
Colorado has an excellent kicker in Alejandro Mata. Blitz off the edge. Salter sneaks out of it. Makes something out of nothing. Clock continues to move. That took a whole bunch of time.
That's all. Salter's head bobbed. I thought maybe been pulled down via face mask, but that was from the back. So let's see. He lives again.
We've got a timeout. Colorado has to burn it. They have used 30 seconds to run 2 plays and pick up 4 yards. Let's talk about the receiver for Colorado, Omarion Miller.
Mel, he's done a wonderful job in space catching the ball and then coming up with big plays. You know, when you've got a quarterback that doesn't have as much experience as you'd like, you try to find ways to get the ball in the receiver's hands as quickly as possible. That was an example. Now, he's starting to show maturity, pushing the ball downfield. Trust starts to build. And you see this over a 60-minute period, and over the course of time, you start to see a quarterback come into his own. Omarion Miller does a wonderful job with it.
It's a really nice line. 7 catches, 120 yards. He's had a touchdown in 3 consecutive games. He'd love to make it 4. So would every Buffalo fan out there. Two timeouts remaining for Colorado.
Straight
blitz.
pressure.
Salter. That would have been a big play to Miller, but defense performed beautifully by Rich.
Yeah, we don't like to make comparisons and all that, but the guy out there on that play last year probably makes this catch right here. It hits him in the basket with that hand and not able to draw it, bring it in. Great defense. Maldonado's over the top in coverage, so you had him bracketed. But again, just so that brief moment when the ball is out of his purview, you can't see it, it gets away from him.
This is the ball game.
Yep.
4th down and 6.
Trips right. 4 across. This is a very conservative coverage. Rolling to single one.
They bring the pressure. Salter goes down. Drag from behind Ryan Davis, who's had a ball game. And K-State has the football back.
And I'll tell you who else had a great day. With just 3 down linemen and 1 pressure coming late, Joe Klanderman, the defensive coordinator, has had a wonderful time changing his coverage in real time, changing the look. And then when the eyes come down and you're no longer to keep focus on the back end, you're going to have problems being such a young quarterback, seeing the coverage.
That may have just sealed an extra month of football for Kansas State.
That's a big deal, man.
Trying to get the 6 wins, become bowl eligible. They've got the ball in a 10-point lead.
Well, they've felt the doubt and they've heard the gents shouting. That guy right there, this defensive coordinator, Joe Klanderman, has helped them navigate around some of that noise in the system. And they're going to sleep a lot better now.
On the ground, Jackson, pickup of 9. That is almost ideal. Sometimes you don't even want 10. 9 is great, forcing 2nd and 1.
Oh, Miss Jackson, your son is for real. That's one thing that we know. This kid right here is a baller, man.
And Colorado is not going to use a timeout. Deion Sanders is ready to go home. Colorado has 2 timeouts remaining, and they're going to take them back to Boulder. I think this should probably just a knee then. And congratulations to Kansas State. At times, it wasn't pretty, but it looks pretty when it's all said and done. 24-14, you will take it in a Big 12 conference game.
Great alignment for the culture, the seniors, everything about what Chris Klieman likes and needs for his program to thrive. The land-grant institution will be able to live again because they've got something to leverage, man. It's special.
Chris Klieman and Kansas State heading to a bowl game for the 5th consecutive year and 6 out of 7 years that Klieman has been in Manhattan. All right, there's your double zeros. Game is over. Sure hope you enjoyed it. Spencer, it's been a magical year, my man.
Love you, mean it.
One of the greatest. Spencer Tillman, I'm Eric Collins. Time to take you out to our LA studio for more college football coverage.